What's up, everyone? Welcome to the March 31st edition of the NBA Bet Pro video. I am your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And we have a massive 13-game NBA slate to find some prop bets from. One thing I will say at the top is we are waiting on a ton of injury news. There's probably more stuff that's going to come out throughout the day, but also just a lot of unknowns right now. So definitely be sure to check this tool out throughout the day. If you subscribe to it, I'm sure you do already, but we are offering a 7-day free trial. More on that later, but it is a good time, this late in the season to be able to access this tool as much as you can. So if you haven't already taken advantage, be sure to sign up for that. Now, as usual, we are going to walk through this tool. If you're not familiar with it, this is a prop betting model put together and maintained by our NBA DFS projections team. So the same guys that do our DFS projections and have had success there put together this model, helps us be more profitable with player prop betting and also more efficient with our time. Now, starting with BetMGM. At the top, we have Domantas Sabonis over 5.5 assists tonight against Portland at minus 160. He projects for 6.9 assists, which gives us a 64% chance of winning this wager and a 5% expected return. We recommend wagering 6.3% of your bankroll. That's the S-bet percentage here, and you can expect it to grow by 0.22%. Very nice matchup for Sabonis tonight against a shorthanded Portland team. Now moving over to Caesars. Drew Eubanks is highlighted in red here. Over 2.5 assists at minus 111. Now, the red highlight is defined down at the bottom in the glossary. It's because of injury news that we're waiting on for Portland. Trendon Watford in particular is questionable in this game, but because it's an over, I'm still willing to take this. We have Watford projected in right now. We have any questionable players for Portland projected in, and we're still projecting Eubanks to go over 2.5 assists against Sacramento. 3.4 assists is the projection. So because it's an over, I'm not concerned about that injury news. If guys get ruled out and Portland's rotation ends up being even shorter than we're expecting, then obviously that's just going to make Eubanks projections go up across the board. So we can still take this here. We have a 56% chance of winning, 7% expected return. The S-bet percentage, which again is defined down at the bottom as the percentage that we recommend you wager, is 5.7%. And the SEV, which is defined as the percentage you can expect your bankroll to grow by, is 0.26%. Now, before we move over to DraftKings and FanDuel, just to elaborate on what I mentioned before, we are still offering a 7-day free trial for this tool. So sign up and take advantage of that. It's really important, in general, to be able to refresh this throughout the day. We update projections, we update lines pretty much constantly. So it's important to be able to do that anyway, as opposed to just watching a video that I'm recording, around 1:30 and taking that information as gospel. But also, especially this time of year, there's just so many unknowns right now. Things are going to look different. There's likely to be other value that opens up in this tool throughout the day. So if you haven't already, take advantage of that right now. 7-day free trial. We think you'll like it. We think you'll stick around. But with the NBA season wrapping up, it's a great time to take advantage of just being able to get access to this model as late news breaks. Now, getting back to DraftKings, Andrew Nembhard at the top, under 13.5 points at plus 120. Now, that is an under, so we do want to be more cautious with these. Looking at the Indiana injury report, though, the only guys that are questionable are Miles Turner and Gabe York. I don't know who Gabe York is. Miles Turner doesn't have much of an impact on Andrew Nembhard's expected points, rather. You could argue, Turner's a higher usage guy than Isaiah Jackson or Jalen Smith, but 11.7 projected points here for Nembhard. The line is 13.5 at plus 120. So I like taking this either way. It gives us a 10% expected ROI. I don't think Turner, being out moves the needle that if he ends up being out, moves the needle that much on Nembhard. If you are hesitant to go there, though, next we have Shadon Sharp at 22.5 points, the under there at plus 100. Similar situation where I don't think anything that is pending on the Blazers matters really to Sharp, so I'd be willing to take this one as well. But if you want to be really conservative and just take neither one of those, we already talked about Sabonis. Then we get down to Mitchell Robinson here, under 9.5 rebounds at minus 115. He does get a rebounding bump without Julius Randle, but we still only have him projected for 8.6. That gives us a 56% chance of winning and a 5% expected return. We recommend wagering 4.6% of your bankroll on the Robinson under 9.5 rebounds, and you can expect it to grow by 0.17%. And finally, wrapping things up on FanDuel, Shadon Sharp's under points prop is the first thing listed. Next, we have under 33.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. As I said before, I'm fine taking these Shadon Sharp unders because I'm not really concerned about any of the questionable players on Portland having a massive impact on him. If Trendon Watford's out, you can certainly make the case that Sharp plays more minutes, but Portland did also add Skylar Hayes and Shaq Harrison. So he doesn't have to play tons of minutes in that regard anyway. But Watford's the only questionable player. We have Arcidiacono doubtful. We have Reddish doubtful, but those guys are projected out. So that's not impacting anything here. So anyway, if you don't want to take Sharp, next we have Stephen Curry under 6.5 rebounds tonight. Fantastic matchup against the Spurs, a terrible team, terrible defense, but also pretty likely that Curry doesn't play full minutes here, given that the Warriors are 17.5-point favorites at home. He is minus 138 to go under the 6.5 rebounds. We have him projected for 6.2. That gives us a 61% chance of winning and a 6% expected return. We recommend wagering 6.8% of your bankroll, and you can expect it to grow by 0.31%. Now, before I recap the bets that I just talked about, as a reminder, if you have not already signed up and deposited at any of the books mentioned or any of the books listed up here in this tool, check out the pinned comment below this video. We have sign-up links and deposit bonuses for all of these books. It's an easy way to grow your bankroll right out of the gate. And in addition to growing your bankroll right out of the gate, it is going to allow you to be more profitable going forward because you'll be able to shop lines and get the best prices possible on the bets that you want to make. Now, to recap, starting at BetMGM, we're going over 5.5 rebounds for Domantas Sabonis at minus 160. On Caesars, we're going over 2.5 assists for Drew Eubanks at minus 111. On DraftKings, I'm fine going under 13.5 points for Andrew Nembhard at plus 120 or under 22.5 points for Shadon Sharp at plus 100. But if you want to be more conservative, we can go under 9.5 rebounds for Mitchell Robinson at minus 115 since we don't have any injury issues pending for him. And on FanDuel, again, I'm okay going with Sharp, but if you don't want to, under 6.5 rebounds for Steph Curry at minus 138. That is all I have for you today for NBA. But if you enjoyed this video, if you have enjoyed these videos over the last month or two, I will have my first MLB Bet Pro video coming out today as well. So be sure to check this out and check that out rather. And good luck on your bets tonight, everyone.